Yes, hello. You're welcome in our English session presented by Sandenani from Edukea Company. And we are now proceeding with our word classes as a topic, and particularly in a subtopic of verb, which is abbreviated as V. So we have already discussed about noun and pronoun, and we have already finished those two subtopics. So now we proceed with the verb. So you are mostly welcome, so that we get a lot of knowledge about that verb. So verb is a word or words that shows an action or event. So a verb, it is a word. All these are words, but these words show an action or event or certain event. So those words which show event or action, they describe action. These are verbs. And it is normally used in a second part of sentences after the subject, which can be either noun or pronouns. So these words, how do we use them? The position of the verb, if we use them in a sentence. So they are normally used in a second part of sentence. They act as the second part of sentence after a noun or pronoun, which acts as the subject. And the verb also marks time of a given sentence. Another entities of verb is that they mark time or they show time. How can we determine a time of a given sentence? It is through these words, which are verb. Let us observe the following examples. He plays. This is the first. So again we have she played, I play, as well as he is playing. So here we have our verb, that is play. So this is our verb. Why do we comment that it is a verb? Simply because this word shows an action of being playing. So playing is an action or event. It is a task, an action. Someone is playing a ball. So to play, this is to do an action or something. So this verb also, once we use this word now in a given sentence, it shows time or it marks time. That's why in the first sentence, this play has s, additional. That is to show it is such kind of tense, which is a simple present tense. Again, the same play. Here we have ed, addition. Then we say she played. So this ed has added so that to show a certain time. Again we have I play. Also this I play, we can see that a verb is in its own form, that is a base form. There is no any additional in this word because of a certain tense or time. Again we have he is playing. So you can see here there is additional of this is, and even this is a verb, and we are going to discuss them. Again in this main verb, that is play, we have ing additional. That is to show time or to mark a time of a certain. So let us proceed with the types of verbs. So we have got two main types of verb in English language. So English language has got two types of verbs, which are main verb as well as auxiliary verb. So other name of these verbs, in the main verb, we can again call them functional verb. Again in auxiliary, we may call them grammatical verbs. So English language has got two types of verbs, which are main verb and the auxiliary verb, or functional verb as well as grammatical verb. So let us start one after another, starting with main verbs or functional verbs. So main verb is a verb that can stand for its only as a single word in a sentence or alone with a complete meaning. So these are words or these are verbs which can stand for their only as a word, or once they are used in a given sentence, they can stand alone with a complete meaning. For example, we have a word play, dance, eat, cook, sing, write, teach, and others. So you can see that these words, once they stand alone, they bring meaning or they bring sense. Once you say play, everybody will understand. Play, cheza, it is an action. It is an action, and this has a complete meaning. So if somebody tells a person play or cheza, then action starts. Dance, dance, it is main verb. It brings complete meaning. Eat, the same. Cook, sing, and other words. So those words which can stand alone with their own meaning or complete meaning, they are called the main verb. Again, these main verb have also got subdivision. So they are divided into two types or forms, which are regular main verb and irregular main verb. So let us proceed with these two forms of main verb, which are regular and irregular. So in regular main verbs, these are main verbs which are added ed, or they receive ed in a simple past and perfective time, or past participle form. So in those main verbs, there are those which can be added ed, or they are added ed in a simple past, and or others say perfective time or past participle form. So in these two circumstances, they receive ed. So those verbs are called the regular main verb. That's to say, they have regular shape, and this shape is that which allow them to be added ed, and they do not receive en in perfective time, or they are not added en. That is to say, the en form or en remains ed. They remains ed in perfective time and past participle form. And addition of that is, most of English language verbs are regular. Most of English language verbs are regular. So we have a lot of them in our English language. And let us check few examples of those. We have a such verb like play. So this play is a verb that is in a base form. Once we say it is in a base form, it's when a word is written in original form without any additional. That's why a word play is it as it is. So if it could be in Kiswahili, we could say this is mzizi wa neno, a root of a word, before any attachment or before any additional, whether it is kiambishi awali or kiambishi tamati, whether it is a prefix or suffix. So this word play now can receive attachment. And why do we attach those things? It is because of grammatical purpose. So there are some grammatical situations which allow or mark us to have some attachment. And this is, as I said earlier, that these verbs show tenses. So one amongst of those functions of those attachment is to show tenses. For example, this play, it is base form. So normally this base form shows simple present for such subjects. Again, S form also show simple present for some subjects. And after discussing these verbs, we shall have the subtopic of tenses. So don't worry. Once we are talking about simple present, simple past, we shall know them. So play, as I said, simple present, even plays, that is the S form, simple present. But this ed form shows simple past. Show that the event was done during the past time. That's why here we have added ed. Then we get played. So after having this simple past tense, we have perfective form or past participle form. So in our English formula, it says that perfective time is made by en form of verb. That is to say, we have to add en in many verbs. So now these regular verbs, this en form, it remains as in simple past. That is to say, it remains ed and not en. Since they receive ed in both simple past and perfective time or past participle form. That's why here we have remained with the played. But the difference we shall see during the next sessions, that once a person say I played, this is to show it is simple past, it is past time. But what is the difference now between I played and this is the simple past? Simple past. Again, another wants to say I played, but this played, the other played is at the perfective time. Now, what is the difference between a simple past and perfective time or past participle time? Now, different will occur in auxiliary verb. Since this perfective time or present perfect, it is made by auxiliary have. So then here we shall have I have played. So this is the difference between a simple past and perfective time. So this ed, it is en form. That's why we say the formula of perfective time is have plus en. But this en in this irregular main verb, they remain ed, or we add the same ed. So this is a difference now between regular main verb and irregular main verb. So these are some of those examples, like dance, dances, danced, danced, cook, cooks, cooked, cooked, wash, washes, washed, washed, open, opens, opened, opened. So let us now discuss a little bit about irregular main verb. Main verbs. These are many verbs which do not added ed in a simple past and perfective form. So these many verbs do not added ed or do not receive ed in a simple past and perfective time. That is to say, they are vice versa, or they are in a contrasting form with the regular main verb. So they do change morphologically depending to the sound used in a given word. So they can be changed morphologically, the total change of a word or complete change of a word, depending to the sound which is used in a given word. So let us observe the following. We have the same form, base form, S form, ed form, as well as en form that we have discussed during the previous regular verb. So here we have an example like eat. So this eat is a word, is a verb. So we may write this into different forms, that is base, S, ed, and en form. So this eat in S form becomes eats. That is to say, we have added s. In ed form, now, this is irregular. Since it is irregular, it does not receive ed, or it cannot be added ed in ed form or in a simple past. That's why here it has changed from being it to ate, simply because it is irregular main verb. Again, in en form now, a word has changed and become eaten. Another example is go. Go here, we add es, then we get goes. But in ed form, that is a simple past, it does not added ed, or it now changes morphologically from being go to went. So you can see that morphologically these are two different words. They are two different. They differ. Go, went. While in the en form it becomes gone. Write, writes, wrote. So there is morphological change here from write to wrote. Again here written. Speak, speaks, spoke, spoken. So these are a few examples of irregular main verb. There are so many those irregular verbs, but they have commented that English language has got a few irregular verbs, and according to Michael Kadege, 1995, in his book English Language for Secondary Schools, states that this English language has got only 200 irregular main verbs. So let us stop here, then we shall discuss other examples of these both verbs, regular and irregular. Let us now see more examples of main verb. But here we have regular main verb as well as irregular main verb. In irregular we have a word like clean, cleans, cleaned, cleaned. That is to say, this is ed form and this is en form. Close, closes, closed, closed. Kick, kicks, kicked, kicked. Use, uses, used, used. So these are regular main verb, and we can see that in these two forms these words remained having ed, different from these irregular main verbs. We can see here we have a word like drive, drives, drove, driven. Read, reads, read, read. So why in here we have the same read, morphologically, I mean orthographically, we can see these words appear the same. Read, read, read. Simply because these irregular main verbs, we have those irregular which do not change this orthographically, but they just change in sound. So here we get sound change. In this word we don't read it read as here, but here it sounds like read, read. Even here, read. Draw, draws, drew, drawn. Come, comes, came, came. So these are a few examples of those irregular main verb. Then after we have basic forms of main verbs. So main verbs have got 5 basic forms, which are basic form, and once we are talking about the basic form, it is original or a root, a base of a word before any addition. S form, it's when a word we add s or we attach s. For example, here this is basic form, while here it is s form. That's why all these words in this box, they have added s or they have added s additional. Again, we have ed form. So ed form here, it's where we get these two categories of main verb, regular and irregular. So for the case of regular main verb, ed form, they will receive ed For example, here, this is ed form. So they have ed, additional. But irregular now, they do change according to a morphological structure of a given word, according to word itself. Again, we have ing form. In ing here, we add ing, regardless, a kind of verb, whether it is irregular or irregular. For example, if our verb is eat, this is irregular, it is irregular, but it receives ing, then we get eating. And even once we trace example from regular, like clean, it can be added ing, then we get cleaning. It is like that. And the last base is en form. So in the en form, that's to say we add en. But again, in this form, it depends on the nature or kind of a verb, whether it is irregular or irregular. So let us have a task of this part of verb so that we proceed with the other business. Thank you.